Hanging out with Kits the Cat on the Voiceover page today. Hi, it's Brian Kirchoff, and I want to thank you for your submissions. Yesterday, I had asked for some ideas on things to do videos on related to the voiceover business, and I got a handful. Let's talk about one of those now. Voices US says, tackling a diplomatic response to a client who feels you've not followed their direction. If a client feels you haven't followed their direction, it's up to you to get the right direction or better direction and redo it, plain and simple, because it's the customer and they're always right. Isn't that the case? You need to get thick skin. You need to not take this type of stuff personally and just get back down to work and get the customer what it is they're looking for. Obviously, there's been a miscommunication, and it happens all the time in 2017 because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, we don't talk to our customers on the phone most of the time. We don't meet them in person. We have no idea where they live. We don't know anything about these people. We get an email from them with something that says corporate and friendly. And if what you give them isn't their definition of corporate and friendly, well, there you go. It's subjective. Short form narrations. I will just go ahead and take this brief bit of direction and record. Yesterday I did this, and the narration was about 1.5 minutes long. Customer came back and said, it's too robotic. Can you loosen up, make it more friendly? Sure. I didn't take that personally. Big deal. So they didn't like the first cut. How long does it take you to redo a 120-second script? 10 minutes tops. So there. It's not that big of a deal. Long-form narrations, though, I will always record a paragraph or two, zip it off to the client and say, are we on the same page here? Because, this is going to take a lot of time. Let's make sure we're talking apples and not apples and oranges in this instance. So they'll come back and say, yeah, that's cool. Or they'll come back and say, you're off a little bit. It's always a good idea to get on the telephone and have an actual conversation with your customers, and you'll make that personal connection with them as well. Shows initiative on your part. But, as far as diplomatic, the customer is the customer is always right. So if they're being weenies about it, well, just take that with a grain of salt and don't take it personally. It's just business. Just business. Just think of it this way. You're living the dream. You're doing voiceovers out of your basement with your cat, and you're making a good living at it, right? So the diplomatic way is, oh, you're right. Let me redo that for you. It's Brian Kirchoff. This is the Voiceover page. Kits, say goodbye. Adios. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks.